ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ will start with Henry Mangacharan then Das will do darshan for about 25-30 minutes and then we'll have to run for today. So if you guys have any questions you can start putting them in the question box and then once I see a few we'll go through them. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji. ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਚੱਕਰ ਚਿਹਨ ਅਰ ਬਰਨ ਜਾਤ ਅਰ ਪਾਤ ਮਹਿਨ ਜੀਹ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਰੇਖ ਭੇਖ ਕਹੂ ਕਹਿ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕੀਹ ਅਚਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਨਭਉ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਅਮਿ ਤੋਜ ਕਹਿਜੈ ਕੋਟ ਇੰਦਰ ਇੰਦਰਾਨ ਸਾਹੇ ਸਹਾਨ ਗਨਿਜੈ ਤ੍ਰੇ ਭਵ ਮਹੀਪ ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਅਸੁਰ ਨੇਤ ਨੇਤ ਬੰਤਰਿਣ ਕਹਿਤ ਤਵੈ ਸਰਬ ਨਾਮ ਕਥੈ ਕਵਨ ਕਰਮ ਨਾਮ ਬਨਤ ਸਮਤ ਨਾ ਜਤੀ ਸਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜਿਆ ਮੂਰਖ ਮੁਗਦਾ ਜਨਮ ਪਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਣਵਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਤਿਨ ਕੀ ਸਰਣਾ ਜਿਨ ਤੂ ਨਾਹੀ ਵੀਸਰਿਆ ਜਪ ਤਪ ਸੰਜਮ ਧਰਮ ਨਾ ਕਮਾਇਆ ਸੇਵਾ ਸਾਧ ਨ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਇਆ ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਮ ਨੀਚ ਕਰਮਾ ਸਰਣ ਪਰੇ ਕੀ ਰਾਖੋ ਸਰਮਾ ਕਹਾਂ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਛ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਬਰਨ ਸਕੇ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲਿਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲਿਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ We're very blessed today to be listening to the Pavitr Amritmay Katha of Sri Jaap Sahib. ਸਭ ਤੇ ਉੱਤਮ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਕਥਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ in the house of Guru Nanak they bless us with two guns ਕੀਰਤਨ and ਕਥਾ ਕਲਯੁਗ ਮਹਿ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨਾ in Kaljug Guru Sahib has given the pradhanagi to kirtan but Maharaj in their own Bani is also given Mahanta to Katha by saying Sabte Uche, Sabta Uttam Har Ki Katha. They give Pradhanagi to Kirtan, but they give Sirmurta to Katha. Ki Katha bahut ek vishesh daat hai Paramatma di. Katha allows the soul to connect to Paramatma. Katha gives our own heart a bridge, a vehicle for our soul to connect. So let's go together. Let's go through the Pavitra Amritmayi Bani of Jaap Sahib together. Last time we left off at Roop Rang Arrekh Pekh Kau Keh Na Sakat Keh ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰੂਪ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰੇਖ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭੇਖ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਭਾਵ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਅੰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ The first two panktis what they teach us is that there is no limitation we can put on Maharaj. Maharaj ਕੋਈ ਸੀਮਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਦ ਬੰਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੇ they are ਬੇਅੰਤ ਤੇ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਇਹ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਦੀ ਵਿਆਖਿਆ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ These first two panktiyan were the Vyakhya of Akal Murat. कि महाराज थोड़ा कोई चक्कर चिहन बरन जात पात है ही नहीं नहिंज है नहीं है जिसका ਇਹ ਚੱਕਰ ਚਿੰਨ ਬਰਨ ਜਾਤ ਪਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮਾਰਜ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਅਗਲੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਕਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਤੇ ਰੇਖ ਪੇਖ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਜਸਟ ਅ ਰੀਕੈਪ our previous ਕਥਾ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ for the next line Guru Sahib says ਅਚਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਚਲ chal means chalayeman for example something's moving or we move we say chal कि ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਾਂ we're going to move whatever is moving is in the hands of time because time is ever moving time does not stop everything we see in this sansar is moving as well in time is moving in time and space but time is just mithya mithya means mithi gayi hui hai it's a kalpana means ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਿਥ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ I'll just give you an example of what is mithya, what is kalpana. For example, a child is born and ਆਪਾਂ ਮਿਥ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਸੁਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੈ ਮਿਥ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਤ੍ਰਿਲੋਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੈ it's ਮਿਥਿਆ ਗਿਆ it's just thought about and kalpana it's just a thought the name is a thought it came to someone and they named us that name we go throughout our lives nourishing that name ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ we grow that name from day one day one our parents say you are now Frani Frani Kaur you are now Frana Frana Singh then they say these are your relatives these are your rishtedars then they say these are your toys these are your khidone when you get older then they say these are your school this is your classmates it all comes to you and who are you we say okay मेरा नाम Jiskiran Kaur मेरा नाम Khadg Singh that name that we attach every single thing to in our life was just a kalpana from the very beginning it was just a kalpana it was just a mithya gaya hoya it was just a mithya gaya hoya vastu it was just something that was thought about so how much strength how much reality does a kalpana have does a thought have that's why when Guru Sahib says a sara sansar mithya hai they go through every single thing कि mithya everything is mithya or you find the word Kood Mia, Kood Bibi, Khap hoye samsar. Kood means mithya as well. Asidevar Guru Sahib said Kood, Sukhmani Sahib Guru Sahib said mithya. Gurbani uses the same philosophy in different words. But the idea is the same. The idea is that it is just a kalpana, it is just a thought process of someone. Time is thought as well, is kalpana as well. How? Time. We say seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, years. All these things are just thought about. Someone thought, okay, why not we call this interval time a second? Why don't we call this interval time a minute? Why don't we look at the positioning of the sun and call those months, weeks, days? Therefore, time is just mithya gaya. It is also a kalpana. It is also someone's thought process. So how much reality does that have? Then how much reality does the things within time have? Not much. A thought can come and go. In the same way, this sansar that we see around us is just going to come and go. When we say achal, or when we say the word chal, we're saying everything that's in the hands of time, in the hands of that kalpana, in the hands of that mithya is chal. This sareer, this name that we carry, that anything within the hands of time, and that is everything we can see. From day one to now and to our future, everything we touch, hear, and feel is just mithya. Throughout this talk, we'll go into a little bit more detail. But here, Man is saying, Paramatma, tu achal ha. You are outside. The ada there negates the word chal. The ada there is a nikedvachak, which means chal is will be the opposite of the word chal. So here, Man said achal. In other places in Gurbani, Man will say ab chal. For example, ab chal nagar Guru Gobind ka. हजूर साहब ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਬਜਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ that what is permanent that what is past this mithya that what is there before this mithya had started that what is there when the mithya is happening that what will be there when the mithya ends. The best way to explain mithya is through this example. Someone was walking through a jungle. It is not daytime. It is not nighttime. It is somewhere in between. It's like the twilight zone. Is what we can call Amrita Vela, where the sunrise hasn't fully happened yet, and the night has not fully gone. It's somewhere in between the twilight zone. When a person is walking in the jungle 50, 60 feet away from him or her, he sees what seems to be a snake. In reality, the snake is just an illusion. What was actually there was the rope. राज पुजांग जैसे प्रसंग है अब कश्मरम जनाया Raj means rassi, Pujang means sap. जैसे प्रसंग है Bhagavad Ravidas says in their Bani कि एक प्रसंग आ रहा एक कथा आ रही है from generations to generations of the snake and the rope. That is what we're sharing right now. The person sees what seems to be a snake, but now they're confused. Is this a snake or is this a rope? It's not completely dark. If it was completely dark, the person would pass right through that object and not even notice it. And if it was completely daylight, the person would see that snake or rope for what it is, because there's enough roshni, there's enough light to see what's going on. But because the time period is somewhere in between, it's hard to see what that object is. Something is visible, but is not clear enough to see what it is. So that rope now is giving off the illusion of the snake. Because of the illusion, there is fear. Jehun Sapunda, I can't go forward. Now if it really is a snake, I can go forward because this snake can bite me. But if it's a rope, then I have nothing to fear. This sense of duality, this sense of doubt, is what Gurubani calls Parikha, Param, Sahasa, is what Gurubani calls Vam, is what Gurubani will call duality. ਅਨੇਕ ਥਾਵਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ In countless places in Gurbani, Gurus have used the word param, used the word sasa, or sansa. Sansa iho sansar hai. What is this sansar? It is sansa. It is a doubt. Does it really exist? We don't know. We can't tell. Because from our point of view, the ungyan of the agyanis, apagyani nahi, we're agyani. We looking at that rope and thinking it might be a snake. In that same way, we see sansar, we see the jagat, but we don't see Paramatma. Paramatma is the rope, the world is the snake. Paramatma is the rope, the world is the snake. Sansariya nu sansar dista, Brahmgyaniya nu Brahm dista. Sansaris will see the snake, the sansar. The Mahapak, the Brahmgyani, the Gurmukh will see the Brahm, Paramatma, the rope. We are stuck in the illusion. When we're looking out into that forest, we cannot tell if that's a rope or a snake. It looks like a snake to us. That's why the word sansar, if you take the rara away from sansar, at the end of the word, what are you left with? Sansa. That's why Gurubani ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੰਸਾ ਇਹੋ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸੰਸਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ it's a ਭੁਲੇਖਾ it's a param it's a vam it's a doubt does it really exist does that snake really exist no it's just an illusion but because of the illusion now there's a fear in the same way in this sansar we live in because we're stuck in the illusion that there's a snake there's a sansar we're stuck in a fear. The fear of our careers, the fear of our marriage life, the fear of our relationships, the fear of losing someone, the fear of gaining someone new. Fear. Why? Because we see the illusion, we see the snake, we don't see the rope. Bhagavad Ravidas, she saw the rope. The Bhagat saw the rope, they saw Brahm, they saw Paramatma. We don't. That's why we will judge someone. We'll see difference in someone. We'll see white and we'll see black. We'll see tall and we'll see short. We'll see Muslim and we'll see Sikh. We'll see Christian and Hindu. We see differences. Why? Because we're stuck in duality. We're stuck in the illusion. The illusion is differences. But Guru Sahib said, Manas ki jaat sab hai ek hai pehchanabo. What is the dharam of Guru Gobind Singh Ji? It is humanity. Seeing everyone as one. Seeing everything as one. The Brahmgyani can only see Brahm. The Brahmgyani can only see Paramatma, can only see Parmeshwar, can only see Vaheguruji everywhere. We cannot. We see two. We see a bed and we see a wall. We see a person and we see a dog. We don't see as one. This topic of the rope and snake has been coming down for generations, Bhagavad Ravidas says. Jaise Pujang, Raj Pujang. Pujang means sap, Raj means rasi. Raj Pujang Jaise Prasang Hai. Prasang means Katha. A Parnali, a continuation that has been coming down for generations. Now, one thing to see is that before that person walked into that forest, did that snake exist? No. Before the person walked into the forest, did that snake exist? No. The rope only existed. Once the person walks into the forest and he sees with his own eyes the illusion of the snake, does the snake exist then? No, it's just a rope. When the person walks closer to the object and he sees, oh yeah, you know what? It is just a rope. Or when the sun comes up and the light shines on the object and the person sees, you know what? It is just a rope. Then the snake, does the snake exist then? No, again, it doesn't exist. The snake never existed. It never existed before the illusion started. It never existed when the illusion started. It never existed after illusion end. After illusion ended. That's why Guru Sahib said, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Pi Sach, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. That rope, Paramatma, existed before the illusion started. The rope, Paramatma, existed when the illusion started. And the rope, Paramatma, will always exist. The snake will not. Achal. What does Achal mean? Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Pi Sach, Nanak Hosi Pi Sach. What does Achal mean? Achal means that rope that has always existed. The snake, on the other hand, is using the adar of the rope to exist. The snake, on the other hand, is using the support of the rope to exist. It doesn't have its own existence. It doesn't have its own hond. The same way the world is using Paramatma to exist. If we see the illusion of the world, that means Paramatma exists. Because the illusion has to sit on the adar, the illusion has to sit on a base. If the illusion doesn't sit on a base, then it cannot exist in that same way. The snake's illusion, or the illusion of the snake, only exists because of the rope. Because of, in the same way, the sansar's illusion only exists because of Paramatma. ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਅਚਲ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਵਿਆਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ I don't see any questions coming in. We will be leaving in 5 minutes. Just checking if I see anything. I don't think I see anything. So we'll keep going then. Achal Murat. कि मारा छोटी मूर्ति है वो अचल है वो नहीं चलने वाली it's not going to move in the sense that if it moves then it's mithya in the sense that if it moves it is just temporary like we talked about before ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਚਲ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਚਲ ਹੈ ਅਨਭੋ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਅਨਭੋ means experience ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ experience ਹੈ ਉਹ come through prakash through enlightenment because if we say ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਚਲ ਹੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ your form is achal then how can we access something that's achal because we are in the chal we are in the chalayaman sansar we're not in the achal sansar so how do we access something that is achal Guru Sahib says Anupav Prakash through the experience through the Anupav okay और तो प्रकाश होएगा another way of looking at Anupav is सुते सिद्ध ज्ञान जो बाहरी संसार तो बिना हुए what exists from the outside sansar that we see again what so the rope idea ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ that experience that will come in the form of enlightenment of prakash ਅੱਜ ਆਪ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਰਾਮ ਦੇंगे ਜੀ let me check I do it says anupal means please repeat okay anupal panji means sutte sit gyan ja anupal means uh, uh, your own experience ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਦਾ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਹੈਗਾ you know पे कहते कि I know how rain feels like I know how the experience of rain जी so ਆਪਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਰ next week which I remember this question ਤੇ what we'll do is we'll start off from here ਅਨੁਭਵ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ we did ਅਚਾਰ ਮੂਰਤ pretty in ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ we just kind of ran over it so from next week we'll start from here ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ